Brian Danielson is the new #1 contender to the AEW World title. Pac and Cody Rhodes can kind of coexist. Jay Lethal is all elite, and oh, what's this other note here? Hangman Page is your new AEW World Champion. Let's go! Subscribe for daily wrestling news, but most importantly, in celebration, because Hangman did it, Hangman did it. Here's my review of AEW Full Gear 2021.
Support WrestleTalk!
Let's start with the overall points about the show. Firstly, AEW shows are still too long. This one was better than others, but 4.5 hours of non-stop matches is a lot. Secondly, there was a rare problem on this show that doesn't happen in wrestling too often. Some of the matches were actually too long. Only 2 matches of the 10 on this card went under 15 minutes, and some of the matches on this card didn't need that long. Often fans complain about matches not being given enough time, but on this occasion, it was a little too much. Some bouts felt they built to an organic climax and then went past that climax and kept going. This had the effect of sapping the crowd of a lot of energy through the night, meaning they weren't into quite as much as usual for an AEW crowd, though they still came alive for the main event because it was awesome. That and minor audio issues etc. aside, this was still a good show overall, so let's break it down match by match. Also, there was this support WrestleTalk sign that was featured throughout the show. You're the best, this fan. The buy-in started with hometown boy Dante Martin, who was offered a place in Team Taz on Rampage. He was then offered a place in the Acclaimed, featuring a rap from Max Caster that was pretty great, but Dante declined and beat them up. Nice. Next was the women's tag team match of Hikaru Shida and Thunder Rosa versus Nyla Rose and Jamie Hayter. There was nothing particularly special about this match, but it wasn't bad by any means. They told the simple story of Shida overcoming the odds and a worked over knee to get the victory over Nyla Rose with a counter to the Beast Bomb. This was overall fine. But the main show kicked off with Darby Allin versus MJF. This match got 22 minutes, but it felt like they used all of it effectively, with a wonderful back and forth throughout, showcasing some technical mastery, exciting sequences, great psychology with MJF working Allin's back after a missed coffin drop on the apron, and a fantastic finish that saw MJF pay off on the promise of beating Allin with a side headlock takedown. After some distraction from the Pinnacle, MJF nailed Allin with the diamond ring, locked in that side headlock takedown, and won, and it was marvelous. What a heel, a great opener, and kicked off the show right. FTR versus the Lucha Bros came next for the AEW World Tag Titles, and this was also a very fun match. I love the contrast in styles between FTR and Lucha Bros, and I feel like they have a ton more in the tank for any future encounters. Dax got some amazing heel heat by doing the Three Amigos before Penta did it himself, followed by a frog splash for a near fall. Some obviously great spots in this one, such as Phoenix jumping off the turnbuckle, then off Penta to hit a crossbody as Penta hits a package piledriver. You know, just Lucha Bros things. This one got 18 minutes, but somehow felt like it ended abruptly when FTR was selling on the outside, but came back in with the green masks on that they used when they were Andrade's masked team, but then they just got hit with the piledriver and lost? I'm not sure what that was, but it was a fun match nonetheless. Mira versus Brian Danielson was next in the finals of the AEW World Title Eliminator, and I had really high expectations for this one. Miro on the run of his career against Danielson, who has had outstanding matches with everyone he's stepped in the ring with in AEW so far. I will admit, this did not reach my very lofty expectations, but it was still a very good match. After the pair broke out of each other's submission holds, Miro was fired up, inviting Danielson to strike him, taking kicks and returning them in kind. Danielson hit a huge DDT off the top rope, followed it up with a guillotine, but the referee said that Miro was knocked out and the match was called off. Like, he was pulled off in a second after he locked in the guillotine, and Danielson wins. The finish was a little anticlimactic, honestly. It makes sense on paper, but I just think the execution was ever so slightly lacking. Maybe it's just a result of wrestling fans being conditioned to expect a pinfall or submission, but this felt like the crowd popped for the big move and then had the excitement dashed a little with them realizing, oh, the match is over. After that came the Super Click versus Jurassic Express and Christian Cage in a Falls Count Anywhere match, and this was wonderful. Another 22-minute match in which Adam Cole bladed, they put thumbtacks in Jungle Boy's mouth and super kicked them out, a Panama Sunrise on the stage, thumbtack knee pads leading into a 3-way BTE trigger for a near fall on Luchasaurus, a friggin' standing shooting star press off the stage from Luchasaurus, and a lovely finish that called back to earlier in the match, where Jungle Boy was hesitant to hit a concerto on Adam Cole. At the end though, Christian was setting up to do it to Matt Jackson, but JB said he was ready, he took the chair, smashed it over Matt's head, and pinned him for the win. This was really fun and chaotic, a good time all round. Next up was the weirdest match on the card. Andrade El Idolo and Malachi Black versus Pac and Cody Rhodes. Now I know what you're thinking, how will they coexist? And the answer is, they won't really, but also they will. The commentary were also asking the question through the whole match of how either team could coexist. And really what it came down to was each team making a ton of blind tags and the other person looking like... And, like, that was most of the match. The action was decent to good at times, but the story and confusing nature of it overshadowed the goodness of the wrestling itself. There were times when teams couldn't coexist, but then after were just doing normal tags for a bit until the next part of the script said they were supposed to be annoyed at each other. And in the end, Pac just won against Andrade with a black arrow, and the coexisting didn't play into the finish at all. And then Cash Wheeler comes out and stomps on Pac a little bit, and then walks away, and that's it? This felt like a Dynamite angle. Bit weird, that one. Also, everyone hates Cody, and it's hilarious. Britt Baker defended her AEW Women's title against Ty Conti next, and this was another match that felt like it reached its peak a few minutes before the match actually ended. Conti got in a ton of offense in this match, hitting big move after big move towards the latter stages. A TKO, a DDT, several pump kicks, nothing put Britt away, and after a couple of stomps it looked like Britt was going to win with the lockjaw, but Conti countered into a roll-up, and then Baker countered that into a roll-up of her own, and she won. This was good, it was just another factor in the crowd losing energy a bit. But don't worry, they're coming alive again because it's CM Punk versus Eddie Kingston, and good God, this was awesome. This was the shortest match on the show, and you know what? They didn't need any more time. 11 minutes, and it absolutely flew by, with Kingston getting in a backfist before the bell rung. The two brawled back and forth for the entirety. Punk bladed, Kingston looked like a man possessed, and the crowd started to boo CM Punk for the audacity of fighting back. That's crazy! Punk hit the GTS, but started to let the crowd get to him a little bit, looking around at them all while they booed him, but hit another GTS, and won. Honestly, the match was great and everything, but I'm so curious about what happens next. How will Punk react to the boos? What will Kingston do after he failed to put Punk away and then refused the handshake after the match? I love all of the character work going on here. The politest street fight ever took place next, where Inner Circle vs American Top Team and Men of the Year cordially stood on the ring apron and did legal tags in a street fight. Until it all broke down and then the legal people didn't matter at all. That's an odd way to book it, and hey, I'd criticize WWE for doing it, so I gotta do it here too. Honor your stipulations. When this reached the actual street fight portion of the match, things got wacky, with various weapons like a hockey stick, a toaster, something about a butt cake or something that the commentary wouldn't shut up about, and also a giant ladder that Sammy Guevara did a gigantic swanton off, oh my god. Baron Von Raschke at ringside did the Iron Claw to Ethan Page, that was nice. Santana dived on some fans, that was nice. Jericho used a staple gun to staple Dan Lambert's dick, I think? And Jericho won with an homage to Eddie Guerrero, hitting a frog splash. This was alright, I thought. Not my cup of tea personally, but superficially fun. Tony Schiavone then introduced the newest member who is all elite, Ring of Honor's Jay Lethal. I'm happy for Lethal, and he inserted himself right into a TNT title match with Sammy Guevara on Dynamite. This is good stuff. And then, oh boy, and then, it was the main event, Kenny Omega versus Hangman Adam Page for the AEW World title. The stage was set absolutely perfectly. Hangman was riding on horseback down the street while his failures played on the screens around him. Hangman got fired up as he heard the crowd roar. The graphics team even said they were proud of him. During Kenny's entrance, Kenny stared down a fan sign that said, "What would Kota think?" And that's awesome. This was pure theatrics and drama in the best way. After the foundation opening back and forth, this went into big move territory, with a huge moonsault to the outside, a springboard sunset powerbomb to Hangman, however that works, a deadeye countered into a tiger driver, an avalanche, I don't even know what the move is called, but it's awesome, a huge diving lariat through a table on the outside. Now before this match, everyone thought Hangman should kick out of the one-winged angel. That's not what happened. It was Kenny that kicked out of the One-Winged Angel after Hangman hit it on him instead. What a brilliant near fall. Hangman hit the buckshot, but Kenny dragged the referee in front of him, so he hit the referee instead. Kenny tried to use the AEW title, but Hangman hit a deadeye. But there's no referee. Wait, here's Aubrey. 1, 2, kick out. Ah! The Young Bucks came out to ringside and Hangman is lining up for the buckshot. Nick Jackson just stares at Hangman as he nails a buckshot to the back of Kenny's head. He goes to the other side. He stares at Matt Jackson, who just nods his approval as Hangman hits the buckshot again, and 1, 2, 3, Hangman is the new AEW World Champion. The drama, the emotion, everything was absolutely spot on. The Dark Order came out to celebrate with a beer, and Hangman chucked away the beer and instead hugged them all, and I was damn near tears. What a fantastic ending, and congratulations Hangman, a perfect coronation. So overall, there were some ups and downs on this show. No, not that kind, but you can't deny that ending was outstanding, and as I've mentioned on many reviews before, it's how you leave them. Was this better than All Out? No, probably not, but it was still a very, very good show overall. I'd give this a high 4 out of 5.
Matt's not stopping him.
Oh, they're nodding.
Matt's nodding!
Oh.
Oh my god, Matt's nodding! Yes! It's gonna happen!
Oh my god.
1,
Oh my
2, 3, yes!
That was a beautiful finish.
Oh god! The apology meant something.